Over the period of the last couple of years, been very few admissions. Whilst we're slightly behind the trajectory that we set ourselves at the beginning of the process, we're not far off. And I think we've recently nationally been recognised as one of the most improved systems. And I think that's testament to, both the CCGs, NHS England and the local authorities in terms of how they work together, to the hard-working staff at the front line who are managing these very vulnerable individuals that need a high level of care. And also to the care home sector, which is where many of our most challenged and vulnerable residents will need to go to live effectively for the rest of their lives.
So within the first year, we were a maximum caseload of 15 at any one time. We supported 75 people throughout the first year, and I do believe that them 75 people without the IST would have gone into hospital and didn't need to. Initially, they wanted us to be a 24-hour service, and we were kind of saying, well, we don't need that all the time, so can we be a bit more flexible with that? Which we were. So we were more flexible in the sense that we worked core hours, 8 till 8, but then when we could wrap around the person overnight. So for some individuals, and there was a few, 3 or 4 individuals where we did work around the clock, short period of time, prevented that hospital admission, kept them with the family home, and yeah, it was really successful.
But I've seen, during my time working in the Trust, a massive difference brought about by the intensity of input that you can provide by a dedicated service that can work. It can work 9 to 5, but it can work outside of those hours, and it can provide input on a daily basis to service users and providers and families where there's a need for support. And community learning disability teams, as we have them, the ordinary community learning disability teams, just aren't commissioned and aren't services that are provided in a way that you've got that flexibility, because when problems happen, they don't happen at 2 o'clock on a Monday when everybody's in. They happen at 5 o'clock on a Friday when everybody's gone home. And I can think of 2 cases where we've had really positive transitions for people recently, and one of those has involved somebody with additional cultural needs coming out into the community, and we really wanted to make sure that those have been met and supported. And initially the person came out into quite a supportive residential setting, then moved to a more supported living setting, and is now hopefully moving to a less restrictive setting again, which is really positive.
So by matching the needs of these people with local services, we've managed not to readmit anyone to hospital and allow them to enjoy a good quality of life in their own homes.